All right, there he is. That's my man Diggsy. We talking 8-5A Division II Coaches Row. A lot of coaches with pedigree, and then a couple new coaches, maybe just one new coach. But talk to me about how you think this district's going to play out.
And that coach has a pretty good pedigree as well, the new coach over at Forney, Coach Fleener. For me, I think this district is front and center around Ennis. I mean, Ennis, they lost their quarterback, but they have a lot of players coming back. I counted 8 or 9 all-district players coming back. Offensive, they're going to be loaded. Ivy and Johnson coming back at running back along with Devion Beasley. Skyland Simmons at receiver and Jace Berry at receiver. I don't know what their quarterback situation is going to look like. And that's obviously probably one of the most important positions on the field, but they have the infrastructure around it. They got 2 really good linemen coming back and 3 younger ones coming up. I mean, everything I hear about Ennis is this is a team that can compete for a state title next year, depending on their quarterback situation. So I think when we talk about tiers, you and I like talking about tiers, it's Ennis. So this is kind of the Ennis district. What I really find fascinating about this district award is that if you look at the results of last year and kind of say, well, what do you think is going to happen this year? It doesn't look like what it looked like last year. It was a crazy zone schedule last year, and I think we're going to see a very big cycling of teams. I think the teams that were kind of in the middle are going to drop to the bottom, and I think the teams that are at the bottom are actually going to come up. And for me, 2 teams that did not have a lot of wins last year, and in one case, no wins last year, I think we're going to see Forney and Crandall as real big playoff contenders, if not, battling for that 2nd and 3rd and 4th spot. Well, I guess that is playoff contenders, but I think they're going to be right there. And North Forney is a team that I don't know what we're going to do about North Forney. I mean, Coach Jackson, my guy, a favorite guy. They got a good moving quarterback coming in. I feel like they have the infrastructure. They have 2 of the best linemen in the district that are going to be playing Saturday, if not Sunday, and William Bresci and Josh Anderson. But they graduated so much, and everybody else is bringing back so much. Still, I think North Forney has earned the respect with that coaching staff and what they've got coming back and what they have coming in to be the 2nd team in this district. But I have them in the 2nd tier with Forney, Crandall, and Royce City.
It's interesting you bring up Crandall. That's one of the teams I had an eye on because you got that freshman receiver that's going to be a sophomore now, Josh Smith, and then this Samuel. I can't even pronounce his name.
Omosillo.
Hey, you can. I can't.
I can.
I think he's going to be kind of a sleeper there because nobody talks about Crandall like you're saying. But What I like about one of the teams you haven't mentioned is Royce City. It seems like they have a decent ground game coming back. I know their quarterback transferred out, but they got Amon Dozier coming back. And what do you think about that team and maybe some other players that you might have an eye on?
Yeah, Amon Dozier is a great player. In Royce City, one of my friends who is the actual PA announcer over in Royce City, Bobby Summers, they're expanding that stadium. It's going to be seating 10,000. They got that nice Buc-ee's right next to it. That area is growing, and I've had coaches lament to me that a lot of people are moving into Royce City, and that's kind of been their success the last couple of years has been the fact that, what you see in spring ball isn't always what the summer looks like and not always what the fall looks like. Royce City is such a growing area, and when you have that run-based game like they're going to have even losing your quarterback is not as big of a deal as it is for other programs and other teams. You talked about Josh Smith, that freshman at Crandall. I really like him. How about Godwin Ugokuchulu and Luke Moffitt at receiver and Jackson Eskridge, the lineman at Crandall. This is a team that was very young last year. Forney, I think a lot of people forget about Forney because they didn't win a game last year. They lost their quarterback early, and he's coming back this year. Jake White, that's a name I'm keeping an eye on. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's probably somebody who would have been all district if he got to play the full year. They got 2 also really big linemen in Reese Mercer and Alex Bowen, and they've got a really good running back coming back in John Richard Washington. So for me, I've got Forney right there in that set. The battle of Forney, North Forney versus Forney, I think it's going to be 2nd place this year.
That's awesome. Yeah, you brought about Royce City. I think they're going up to 6A this next realignment. They got so much growth there. So they skip over Division I and go straight to 6A. But I appreciate you. We're done with 5A. So next week
we did it.
Next week we'll start talking 6A, maybe from a sweet location. We'll figure that out later on.
Figure that out. the budget to send me on vacation is always big with you guys. I appreciate y'all.
That's right. Yes, we're sending you on the road, paying you that lump salary of $0 to go on the road. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Ward.